Hello and welcome to another group SFT tapping event. Well, actually, it's a combination of SFT tapping and sound healing. We'll explain all in just 1 second. It is called Repairing the Fractured Sound Frequency. I'm Marvin Schneider.
And I'm Jenuine. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Of course, we do have in the studio, all of our regulars plus some special guests. I'll introduce those in a second, but say hi to everyone on the Zoom call. Thank you for joining us. This is a sound frequency and group SFT tapping event, Jen. And let me just quickly say that we do have a very special guest that's going to join us at the end of the tapping. His name is Kind Bud. He's a singer-songwriter extraordinaire. He's quite famous in the circles of things. And part of his claim to fame is that Jen, Kind Bud, put music to some of your poems, and he's going to play 3 of them today live at the end of this tapping event. So we're looking forward to that. We'll introduce Kind Bud more formally later.
It's really exciting. Yeah, he just played at Woodstock, the anniversary of Woodstock this weekend. So, yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon away from Woodstock, the Jenuine healing songs.
Absolutely. All right. Today's event is called Repairing the Fractured Sound Frequency. This is it's coinciding with day 1 of the Democratic Convention. And for those that are familiar with our work, you'll realize that we did 3 back-to-back group tapping events coinciding with the Republican Convention about a month and a bit ago, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. We're going to be doing tapping events on each of the days coinciding with the Democratic Convention. This is day 1. You're targeting the repairing the fractured sound frequency as the topic of interest on day 1 of these back-to-back events. Can you just explain a little bit of why we're doing sound frequency?
Yeah. So those people who are abusing power out there, don't need to name any names, but what they do is they're energy vampires. So there's a combination of repetitive lies, repetitive statements that they have you adopt, but they're also taking things that are sacred to us, like songs that open our heart, like the national anthem. You know, one group has derailed that one by putting different words to it and overlaying it with this asshole's voice. So that's a way of derailing our sound frequency, because sound is enmeshed with our heart, our openness. So when they do that, there's no way to get it back. You can't sue them or whatever. But what we're doing energetically, because I'm a shaman and I know how to do this, is we are actually taking back the sound frequency that was stolen from humanity and giving it back.
So, of course, you will remind everyone, and I'll get you to talk more about this in a second, but everything in the universe is energy. Energy is everything. Everything that you see and experience, and even if you don't sort of fully see it, it's all energy. And there are many forms of energy, but sound frequency is one form of energy, which is why we're tapping into that. Light emanation is another. And at the end of the day, for those that are not familiar with the work that we're doing here, we are all about uplifting 8 billion people into higher consciousness, igniting universal empowerment. And so universal empowerment exists when the collective, 8 billion people, or as many of those that choose to participate, experience perpetual joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success. And sound and song was one way of tapping into that vibration, but it's been hijacked. And there's a lot of ugliness, harsh vibration, lack of truth being portrayed in the verbal sound. And so what we're doing today is repairing the fractured sound frequency, because it is part of connecting 8 billion people into that vibration of joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, which is a precursor to uplifting 8 billion people into higher consciousness. That's what we're here to do. And we're just doing our bit on day 1 of the Democratic Convention.
Absolutely. And if you think of it in woo-woo terms, when we were kids, we were told God is everything, right? And God is like everything is like a emanation of light or a frequency of sound. That's everything. God is love. God is everything. So if you think of it, a song, these songs that I picked to sing to you today are ones that come up in my sessions to open people's hearts. But the lyrics are the sound frequency and the words are the light emanation. So they, in a sense, every song that you sing is sacred because it's a reflection of source. It's a reflection of love, if it's uplifting or not. So it's important to choose. Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about the celestial sound and how that connects you to the vibration of the inner sanctums of source?
Yeah. So I don't know if other people hear inner sounds. Like right now, I hear sounds inwardly. It's like a subtle form of the atoms brushing together, say. And it changes tunes sometimes. Sometimes it's a note of a flute, sometimes it's water running, sometimes it's bees. But these are inner sounds, and they reflect a different level of consciousness for which sound you hear. So you can tell which level you're on, the astral, causal, mental, etheric realms, by what's the sound that you're hearing. And then the single note of a flute, that high pitched sound is like, actually you can feel it like breeze through your ear. That's actually pulling you up in consciousness. And the devastation is a lot of people are hearing inner sounds and they automatically think it's tinnitus. Now, I'm sure there's some things that are tinnitus, I don't know, but those inner sounds are something that I welcome. And when I'm at peace, those sounds are more pervasive. And so what's interesting is because I'm so sensitive, when I hear these sounds, what I can do is relax in it. So imagine the sound is like water. And you can actually use the sound that you're hearing inwardly to relax your own atoms by allowing them to float or expand in this fluidity. And you can actually open up your own energy of your physicality. And this is a form of healing for yourself. Just there's always something to do to a visualization or a contemplation or some kind of technique where you can always uplift yourself. And when you hear one of these sounds, pay attention to what's going on around you, because I think of the sound as source speaking to me in its native tongue.
So today's event is a combination of some sound healing that you're going to be doing. You're going to be singing some songs that, like you said, a lot of them are inspired by some of your private sessions. By the way, for those people that aren't familiar, in a lot of your one-on-one client sessions where you're doing really profound energy work with clients, you do a lot of, you sing and you tap into whatever it is that the client needs to connect with in that moment. And it's actually quite, for those that have had the benefit of watching a lot of your private sessions, it's almost surreal. It's like you're doing this profound healing work, and then all of a sudden, there's some inner guidance that draws you to sing particular verses of particular songs, and it connects deeply with the client. Can you just talk about that process a little bit?
So when people are going through something, they store pain and sadness in their energy in sound frequencies. So I can tune into a song that they might have not heard in 20, 30, 40 years, but it's that pain was stored at the frequency of that song. So when I sing a song, an old Carpenter song, Karen Carpenter used to I think she damaged a whole generation of little girls because her songs she was so depressed and so pathetic. this is what I sang over and over again. It's a wonder I didn't kill myself. I'll say goodbye to love. No one ever cared if I should live or die. And it gets better and better than that. So a lot of people have stored sadness at that frequency. So when I sing it, it's the opening for that pain to rush out. It's almost like a sponge going in with a little bit of dampness and wiping out all the moisture because it's collecting it. Does that help?
It does. And so here's the thing. If you can, in your own private sessions, connect with the client's individual issues through song and connecting in the sound frequency, we're going to be doing that today for the collective. So we're going to be tapping into the collective treacle, if you like, molasses resonance of ugly lower consciousness to dissipate that, but then to connect them into the sound frequency of higher consciousness, because that's what we're needing to do. We need to tap 8 billion people into an innate sense of higher consciousness so that as a collective, we can actually interact and behave in a way that allows 8 billion people to experience individual empowerment and then universal empowerment. And it's, you know, it's not a complete accident that we're doing all of these things coinciding with the Democratic Convention, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are putting attention on a political process at the moment. And so there's a lot of attention being put on that, and we're using that portal to uplift 8 billion people into higher consciousness.
Yes. And so if I said to you, I'm going to take your pain, and people who don't know how I work would say, oh yeah, how are you going to do that? And their mind would like start to brace and say, she's so full of shit, right? So that's not how it works. What happens is I go in with these songs, and they're the words and frequencies are used the same key, the same notes are used over and over in these songs. It's just a combination. So I go in with my combination of songs, my heart open and the intention to pull all that pain out of you. And it goes beyond the mind, the ego. You can't refute it. The ego can't say, I'm not going to let you, because it doesn't know, it doesn't have a reference point for how we do healing in sound. It just doesn't. So that's why it's so effective.
Well, and the other thing that people need to know is that the resolute intention of you doing the sound healing is, in fact, to use your sound frequency to connect people into higher consciousness and accelerate the process of existing in a state of universal empowerment. That's what we're here to do. And look, you know, there are those that are, would prefer us not to do this. We don't give a shit, because the thing is that the collective, the good of the collective is fundamentally dependent on the work that we're doing here today. So it's really important. And we're creating, affording 8 billion people the opportunity to connect with us. Whether or not they all do, we don't know, but it doesn't really matter, because it's important that we and everyone on the Zoom call and those that are watching at home participate in this process, because that's how one trigger, one person's empowerment triggers another person's empowerment, and then it escalates into universal empowerment. That's how it works.
Yeah. So in the spiritual realms, the spiritual groups on Earth, people are taught to not interfere with people. They say, oh, they need to get tougher. They need to learn how to be stronger. So don't help them. They need to fight into like we're all butterflies and we have to eat ourselves out of the cocoon. Well, that's not exactly the case. Most humans, most people have had enough of the trauma and tribulations and experiences to upgrade to higher consciousness. And there's an apathy that's created in humans that says don't help others. There's a difference between detachment and apathy. And so a lot of people in the spiritual realm, groups, cliques, have gotten it wrong. It's not thy will be done. It's It's the collective's will. If we just sit back and don't participate, then we've dropped the ball. And if we are gifted with someone who needs assistance in front of us and we just hold back because no, let them struggle. That's the frequency of cruelty. And that's what's happened in these spiritual circles. They actually are perpetuating cruelty. I myself, I can't stand seeing anyone suffer. And even like, oh, Milton will get it in his head, my little dog, that he wants something or he wants daddy to look at him. And it tortures me until daddy looks at him, because I know that want. I know that desperation of wanting to be validated. So the spiritual circles need more of that, where they can't themselves stand to know someone else is struggling and they have something to gift them with and they're holding back. That's cruelty. Because guarantee 8 billion people on the planet in one way, shape, or form are praying for assistance from the intangible realms. And if I have this ability as a shaman, or whatever you call me, if I have this ability to take a piece of their pain and remove it from them with no skin off my nose, it would be cruel not to. So I'm grateful to have Marvin here and all you guys here to understand what's capable of and what we do here, and to send out all those intentions to uplift 8 billion people and trillions of forms of life besides people forms.
And not only on this mortal coil, Earth, but all the lower worlds. All right. Maybe a little less gab flapping, and maybe we should get into the first part of this event.
Okay, babies, I knew you were too chomping at the bit to hear my singing, babies.
So, sorry, let me just ask this then. Do you have a prepared list of songs, or are you winging it?
So there's a couple songs that are coming through for me to sing to you. Don't worry, babies, it won't go hours and stuff. But what I'm doing is going to tap into the group here and people who are on the call and stuff. There might be a Karen Carpenter song in there. And it might not even be whole songs, just little snippets. Just a free forming kind of like release different frequencies.
Because a lot of times in your private sessions with your clients, you're not singing the whole songs with all the perfect lyrics. Quite often you're just singing and portraying snippets of it, and sometimes not even in the right, the right lyrical sequence. You just take little chunks. So
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. When songs don't come through, and this is true for you guys, when you're singing a song and you can't remember a piece, so you go off key, guaranteed there's an issue stored at that frequency where you can't remember the words and can't remember the key. So when I don't sing it, I mean, I listen to how much I need to sing, and it is only an hour and whatever. But yeah, there's usually a breaking point where their heart opens and they start crying and they release everything. So you just wing it, babies.
Well, you're on show, so yeah, take it away.
This first song is one I wrote years ago, but I wrote it. I changed the words to be more impactful to you guys. So this I wrote. Oh, holy you, the light and sound was fading till you appeared and so felt its worth. In the lower worlds, self-love is realized and lights the way to the temple within. A song of songs, the lower worlds rejoice in, for in this realm stands a new and the song of your love. The light and sound are here for your return. Oh, holy you, self-love sustains you. Each step you take leads you closer to truth. In the inner worlds, the light and sound embrace you. As you give love, each soul gives love too. The song of songs, the heavenly worlds rejoice in, for in this world stands a new and glorious you. Open your heart and hear the song of your love. The light and sound are here for your return.
Wow. Move over Taylor Swift.
Oh, please. She can stay just where she is. Thank you. I love Taylor.
By the way, we're not sure about this, but it would be seriously cool if Taylor Swift made an appearance at the convention, the Democratic convention that's being run right now. That would be a pretty powerful thing that will assist humanity to defeat some of the negative things that we're dealing with at the moment. What else we got going on?
Can I just say two things about Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift, her body of songs were derailed by takers. Like, people bought her songs when she was younger, and she didn't have say over her songs. So what she did to take back her empowerment is she re-recorded all of her songs so she'd have access to them again. And so that was an amazing thing. Another amazing thing is her songs empower a whole generation of little goddesses and give them hope and like this community of the collective goddesses that empowers her and all these little goddesses. And they don't have to be men or women, they can be men too. Okay, I'm going to try this song. I think it's lovely. It's kind of newer, but we'll see. It's going to drive Marvin nuts. Just watch Marvin's face. It's worth the entertainment. I used to float. Now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for, what I was made for. Taking a drive, I was an ideal, looked so alive. Turns out I'm not real, just something you paid for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad again. Don't tell my boyfriend it's not what he's made for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be be happy, something I'm not, but something I can be, something I wait for, something I'm made for.
A little bit after my time, I think I'm a little bit more grounded and rooted in the whole Woodstock era. Not that I mean, I was pretty young, when that actually happened, but that seems to be my generation of music.
Babies, you want some cocker?
You mean Joe Cocker? Come on,
Want me to give you some cocker?
just so we're
What
all,
would you think? When we were dating, Marvin was making this huge song list for me. You know, when we were together, we'd play these songs together, and he had all these Cockers, Joe Cocker songs. We would play, and he goes, "Babies, can I give you some Cocker right now?" I go, "Baby, I'd love some Cocker." All right, I'm sending you some Cocker. So it never gets old. Those are our dating.
So we should explain to people that are not familiar. We were on opposite ends of the earth at that point. So you were in America and I was in Oz, and we were Zooming and Teamsing, and
Yeah.
it was during the whole COVID thing.
So let's put it this way: all he could give me was Cocker.
Joe, of the Joe variety.
Yeah. All right, so this song is important for self-love. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
Dum-dum.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Oh, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. And that's where I ended. You shouldn't have encouraged me, babies. So when I make these sounds, I'm taking the stagnant energy. It's opened up the frequencies for the stagnant energy to release, and now I'm converted it into noise so it can release from everyone. And I just got really, really hungry. And that happens with the energy work. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love little baby ducks, old pickup trucks, slow moving trains, and rain. I love little country streams, sleep without dreams, Sunday school in May, and hay. And I love you too. I love leaves in the wind, pictures of my friends, birds of the world, and squirrels. I love coffee in a cup, little fuzzy pups, bourbon in a glass, and grass. And I love you too. I love honest open smiles, kisses from a child, tomatoes on the vine, and onions. I love winners when they cry, losers when they try, music when it's good, and life. And I love you too.
Wow, Babies.
Babies, did you like that one? It's nice and short.
No, I think that one connects with, well, presumably quite a number of people, connected with a couple of people on this call. So, yeah.
This song I've always loved as a child. I've always held this vision for world peace. So it's such an honor to be able to do this work to uplift all of humanity. And this song, I remember being 10 years old and singing this in choir. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's a song I hear. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. True story, I want honeybees. That's on
You
my
do.
bucket list.
We've actually got a ornamental metal fabricated honeybee on our outdoor garden wall that looks out and invites all the honeybees into our place, pollinate all our lovely fruit trees. The other thing I'd say at this point is because this event is coinciding with day one of the Democratic Convention, a lot of what we're doing today, by the way, Jen, is tapping into the joy that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and those that rally around them to take back true empowerment for a broader collective. So there's a symbiosis that's going on. And I actually think that is part of the secret source of, within the political circles, the momentum that's going on at the moment is to take back joy, hope, and a sense of, empowerment, individual agency, but doing all of those things not in a selfish way, but a selfless way. And that's one of the things that not that, by the way, not that this is meant to be political messaging, because by and large, we're apolitical. We're not buying into the partisan politics, particularly in America. Obviously, I'm not American, so, I don't give a shit. But as a, part of the collective, I kind of do. But the only thing that I'd say is that, just tapping into that sense of agency in a selfless way is where we're really connecting with universal empowerment. That's my only interest in any any intersection between higher consciousness and politics, just so people know.
There's not a egotistical bone in this guy's body, as far as it's amazing because I've been privy to the most horrific abusers on the planet. I mean, these people make Trump look like kindred spirits. So when I'm with this man and I can be totally myself, there's no ego there. I read energy. I would close down. I would shut down. But it's amazing how much he gives the world. And I hope, my intention is for at some point the world can know how wonderful he is. Not in a personality worship, but just know what he's offering the planet through being here with us.
I think what he's doing as well is he's providing a beacon and a bit of a way shower for how the broader collective can and should interact. And
He didn't even
I
hear
could,
me. You didn't even hear me. I was talking about you, babies. I was talking about you.
yeah. And I was going to ask you, I'm assuming you're talking about Tim Waltz because that's who I was talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah.
So Tim Waltz is amazing. I have these. I have this one brother who's so mean to me, and he won't talk to me. But he's so obnoxious. Everybody loves him, but he's got that mean energy where he can joke and cajole with everyone. But it's at the mercy of people around him. So it's funny because I see what he wants to aspire to be, and I see how other people see him at a lower level. But I see all the cruelty in that. But what he aspires to and what he thinks he is Tim Waltz,
Waltz.
and it's almost like Tim. What's his name?
Tim Waltz, my God, Jen.
I know, but Tim Waltz is a prototype for every man who is missing a piece of that aspect of himself that has been belittled and whatever, to use him as a prototype and fill in those pieces.
Right, thank you. So you just basically said what I said, which is great. I think that's the real opportunity is people can see and emulate that kind of behavior because that's kind of what we need more of, not less of.
I just have one thing to say to that, babies.
Well,
Let the river flow and let the world reclaim its wonder. That's all I know of that, but it's in a song bite. That's what you were talking about, right?
yes. All right. Are we doing more singing or are we?
Just a couple more, because there's an uneasiness, an edge here. We gotta break through, babies. I heard there was a sacred chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king compose an hallelujah. 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 There's a blockage there I have to release. Well, maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned of love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. Love's not a sign that you see at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 I did my best. It wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so tried to touch. I didn't try to fool you. I stand beside. I stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my lips. Can't do it. There's still blockages in the collective.
But that's fundamentally what we're doing here, baby, through this sound
Yeah.
healing. is to unblock those blockages, because you're right. It's almost like we're the universal drainage cleaner, getting all those blocks out of the pipe works.
I have to clear someone on this, do something for someone on this call right now. I hear the cottonwoods whispering above. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy's in love. The old hooty owl hooty hoots to the dove. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy's in love. Does my lover know what I know, that he loves him so? My heart beats so joyfully, I wish that he would know. Wish I knew if he knew what I'm dreaming of. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy's in love. Whipplewood, you and I know. Tammy, Tammy, she loves him so. The breeze from the bayou keeps murmuring low. Tammy, Tammy, can't let him go. She knows who it was for. Here's another one we have to do. Rows and flows of angels' hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and tunes and Ferris wheel, the dizzy dancing way you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusion I recall. I really don't know love at all. Dreams and schemes and circus clouds to say I love you right out loud. Tears and fears and I looked at life that way. But friends, they've all been acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. But something's lost, yet something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusion I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Well, babies, that's your best yet.
Wow, babies, thank you. Can you stomach a couple more?
A couple.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for the break that'll make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. You need some distraction, a beautiful release. Let the emptiness sweep, let the emptiness seep from your veins. May you be empty, oh weightless, and maybe you'll find some peace tonight in the arms of an angel far away from here. In this dark cold hotel room, and the emptiness that you fear, you are thrown from the wreckage of your silent revelry. In the arms of an angel, may you find some comfort in. When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky and a beautiful sunrise. How old is your soul? And just like them old stars, you know you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking out. And when you need your space to do some navigating, I'll be patiently waiting to see what you find. 'Cause even the stars, they burn, some even fall to earth. We've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. One more, babies. I took my love and I took it down, climbed a mountain and turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, and then the landslide brought me down. Spirit in the sky, what is love? Can this child inside rise above? Can she sail through the seasons of the tides? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But times are changing, children get older, and I'm getting older too. So take my love and take it down, climb a mountain and turn around. And when you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, let the landslide bring you down. That's good, babies.
Good job, babies. Take a deep breath.
Yes, everybody take a deep breath if you want to. So we have 38 taps to get to, maybe a couple more if I ad-lib a couple. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys an affirmation to say, we're actually literally, and I know how to use literally, we're literally going to take the sound frequency that's been split off and debased and made cruel and dark and heavy, and we're going to sift off the harshness of it, sandblast it off if you want a vision, and we're going to recalibrate the sound frequency so that all individuals, all atoms of life have access to joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success, la la la, through their sound frequency. So I'm going to give you guys something to say. You're going to say it 3 times. We'll tap on the top of your head. A 4th time we'll tap in your chest. And a 5th time we'll tap in your abdomen. Are you ready, babies?
Yes, we are, babies. Let's get to it.
All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments.
All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments. All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments. All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments. All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments. All coarse, ugly vibrations disrupting celestial joy, love, and beauty are eradicated in all moments.
All mouthpieces of sound distortions are immediately muted in all moments.
All mouthpieces of sound distortion are immediately muted in all moments. All mouthpieces of sound distortions are immediately muted in all moments. All mouthpieces of sound distortion are immediately muted in all moments. All mouthpieces of sound distortion are immediately muted in all moments. All mouthpieces of sound distortion are immediately muted in all moments.
All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments.
All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments. All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments. All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments. All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments. All those derailing the resonance of celestial sound are immediately thwarted in all moments.
All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments.
All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments. All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments. All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments. All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments. All those hoarding sound frequencies are immediately gutted of their ill-gotten gains in all moments.
All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments.
All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments. All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments. All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments. All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments. All nefarious sound manipulation is immediately thwarted in all moments.
All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments.
All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments. All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments. All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments. All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments. All blueprints to control the air, land, or water through sound manipulation are immediately collapsed and dissolved in all moments.
All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments.
All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments. All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments. All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments. All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments. All the dams created to redirect inspiration to power factions are immediately blasted out of existence in all moments.
All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments. All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments. All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments. All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments. All confiscation of individual ingenuity and genius is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments.
All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments. All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments. All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments. All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments. All confiscated ground swellings of individual inspiration are immediately returned to humanity in all moments.
All sour notes and the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments.
All sour notes in the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments. All sour notes in the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments. All sour notes in the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments. All sour notes in the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments. All sour notes in the celestial sound are immediately fine-tuned in all moments.
All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments.
All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments. All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments. All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments. All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments. All of man's ownership over the nature of humanity is immediately ended in all moments.
All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments. All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments. All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments. All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments. All cock-blocking of sacred celestial sounds is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments. All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments. All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments. All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments. All dumbing down of the world's sound frequency is immediately eradicated in all moments.
Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments.
Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments. Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments. Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments. Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments. Any thwarting of the sweet truth of higher consciousness is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments. All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments. All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments. All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments. All the coarseness that man uses to muddle the sweetness of celestial truth is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments.
All the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments. All the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments. All the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments. All of the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments. All of the contraptions that man makes to break up the celestial spherical music are immediately eradicated in all moments.
All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments.
All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments. All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments. All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments. All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments. All of man's attempts to interrupt the connection to source through the celestial sound is eradicated in all moments.
Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments.
Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments. Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments. Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments. Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments. Demonizing man's connection to source through inner sounds is eradicated in all moments.
Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments.
Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments. Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments. Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments. Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments. Believing that inner celestial music is a disease or disadvantage is eradicated in all moments.
All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments.
All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments. All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments. All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments. All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments. All that man has raped from the collective through interference with sound frequency is eradicated in all moments.
All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments.
All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments. All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments. All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments. All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments. All ignorance regarding the relevance and importance of celestial music is eliminated in all moments.
All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments.
All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments. All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments. All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments. All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments. All beings are immediately reconnected with Source through the inner channels of music in all moments.
All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments.
All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments. All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments. All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments. All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments. All beings reclaim their innate sound frequency in all moments.
I had this client once who we tapped into her lifetime in Lemuria, and she does lab work in this lifetime. And in that lifetime, she worked in a lab as well. And her whole job was to take these beings and have them gain her trust. Because when they opened up to gaining her they trusted her. When they opened up to trusting her, they were opening up to being energetically raped of their sound frequency. And it was extracted through some apparatus, and then they were left like lobotomized. And you can tell who those people are in the present day because of like their lack of being able to discern for themselves. So all those people are playing catch up. All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments.
All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments. All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments. All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments. All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments. All muting of celestial music is eradicated in all moments.
All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments.
All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments. All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments. All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments. All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments. All muting of creativity and genius through shutting down the inner connection to Source is eradicated in all moments.
All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments.
All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments. All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments. All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments. All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments. All of the truth that sustains the universe is accessed by all beings through inner celestial music in all moments.
All the providence that has been withheld from the earth through the muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments.
All of the providence that has been withheld from the earth through the muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments. All the providence that has been withheld from the earth through the muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments. All the providence that has been withheld from the earth through muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments. All the providence that has been withheld from the earth through the muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments. All the providence that has been withheld from the earth through the muting of its sound frequency is returned in all moments.
An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments.
An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments. An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments. An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments. An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments. An immediate upgrade to Earth and all its inhabitants is implemented through its sound frequency in all moments.
All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments.
All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments. All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments. All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments. All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments. All enslaved atoms of life are freed to upgrade in all moments.
All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments.
All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments. All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments. All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments. All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments. All mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles embrace their empowerment through an immediate upgrade to the sound frequency of their environment in all moments.
All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments.
All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments. All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments. All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments. All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments. All of Earth receives an immediate upgrade to its sound frequency in all moments.
All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments.
All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments. All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments. All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments. All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments. All creative genius and juices are immediately released to outflow and uplift all of humanity in all moments.
All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments.
All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments. All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments. All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments. All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments. All individual beings are validated as pristine notes of celestial music in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself are centered and empowered in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments. All individuals and Earth itself resonate, emanate, and are interconnected with all life in being a conduit for celestial music to flow through in all moments.
Good job. Take a deep breath. Good job, everybody.
Thank you, babies. So I hope people appreciate the uplifting nature of that in connecting 8 billion people into higher consciousness through the celestial sound, and to break down and dissipate some of the harsh, coarse, ugly vibration that is emanating through the discourse of the collective. And you know, we're doing a lot of these tappings coinciding with currently the Democratic National Convention, but political the moments in at least American history at the moment. And the reason is because at the end of the day, the collective discourse is ultimately, currently represented through the conversation going on, within the political sphere. And so it's just a reflection of the interaction of the collective, and why it's so important that 8 billion people lift up out of tribalism and ugly, vibrations into higher consciousness, so that 8 billion people on the planet can live in perpetual joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, people ask me why I would fixate on politics, because I'm spiritual, blah, blah, blah. But politics is the coarsest, if you can think about it, it's the coarsest vibration that you can imagine. Of course, if you can affect politics, you can affect all of humanity. So that's a benchmark. It's just a benchmark to gauge how the shifts in humanity are happening. And if you watch current events in America right now, you can see in real time the shift from the ugly negative to the positive hope and joy and enthusiasm. And it's really exciting. This is a time where people can reflect and say, I incarnated at this time to be a part of this finally, and to be grateful.
And we'll talk more about this on days 2, 3, and 4 in the sequential sequence of these tapping events. But my take on this is that the momentum that is now building in America, with the aid and benefit of the work that's been going on in these group tapping events and other things, of course. But, we're playing our part. But the momentum that is going on at the moment, to defeat the ugliness of right-wing extreme Christian nationalist MAGA zealots and Trumpism. That's one battle to defeat that. But once that has taken place, that's then the real work begins. So don't think that this election that's going on in America at the moment, presuming that it sort of pans out in the way that all of us intend, is just don't think for a moment that that's the end game. It's not. It's just the beginning, and that's when the real work begins. So pay attention, folks.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that there's in the spiritual realms, there's no ending. There's no place that you end up and it's just the end. There's always another step. So obviously there's always another step on the physical realm then.
Yeah, and the good thing is that in higher consciousness, we actually do have a blueprint for what happens after, the defeat of Trumpism and the MAGA zealots. But there is a lot of work to be done, and we'll continue to do that work. So pay attention, stay tuned. Hey, listen, I think we should bring into the conversation our special guest, Kind Bud. Just as a brief intro before we bring Kind Bud on screen with us. Kind Bud is a singer-songwriter. He's got a long history of connecting in music, and he's got a claim to fame over many, many decades. But more recently, he has put to music about 12 or 13 of your poems that we published in the Jenuine Poetry for Life book. It's a collection of about 150 to 200 poems that you wrote, Jen, over a number of decades. Kind Bud put to music about about a dozen of those, 12 or 13. And he's going to come and share with us 3 of those, I think, today. So let's bring into the studio Kind Bud.
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. What would you like to say, Bud, about your music and your history and the legacy that you're creating and your part in uplifting the spirit of 8 billion people on the planet?
Well, I was looking at my notes, and it was almost 3 years ago to the day today that Kitty read Integrity's Blueprint online and invited me to read it and said, that would make a nice song. And I walked back into my studio where I'm sitting now, and in a matter of 10 minutes, a song just came out right into the words. And I used the title Integrity's Blueprint to make a chorus of my own. And gosh, that kind of opened up an opportunity for me to put music to, actually it was 14 of Jen's songs. And we put it out on an album shortly thereafter. It all happened really quickly and magically over the course of only about 2 or 3 months. I had these 14 songs written. It honestly took me longer to record them and get them out on CDs, and they're also online on Apple Music and Spotify and all those streaming sources that you can find online. So, gosh, it's 3 years now, and I've been playing these songs out, and they were very well received. And I was just at Woodstock, at the 55th reunion of the Woodstock Music Festival, and I had a chance to play late night on Friday night, and I played a few of Jen's songs. So,
And what was the vibe like at Woodstock? 55 years, did you say? The anniversary?
yes, it's the 55th anniversary this weekend, and a lot of the folks are my age and even older. We had some people there who were participants back in 1969 when the big music event happened. It was 3 days of peace, love, and music, and it brought 500,000 people together and overwhelmed this little town in New York.
Yeah.
and the rest is history. And that vibe of peace, love, and music is still shared today. So,
And you know what? Interesting how coincidences occur, but isn't it interesting that that anniversary, and then, not quite the reenactment, but bringing in the next generation of Woodstockers is occurring at this moment in human history. It's it's kind of a pretty important moment in human history, and if we get an opportunity to infuse into the collective joy, love, and music, and then connect to 8 billion people that way. What a great moment in history.
right.
So years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I saw a vision of world peace. And it doesn't look like what people think of world peace, like socialism, where everyone's just born. World peace is actually everybody living and doing what they enjoy doing and being so busy doing what they do that they don't care what other people are doing. And I saw a precipice of that was a renaissance of all this music and stuff. So what I see you doing, you and Kitty, is holding space for that renaissance to happen, where all these creative beings come together and feel comfortable in just sharing and loving and performing. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's the vibe I feel, Jen, for sure.
Awesome. Oh, by the
So
way,
you're going to play. Sorry.
I do know that there's another CD, of a Genuine Healing CD in you.
Yeah, when I last spoke with you, it was a few months ago now, and you encouraged me to go look. I did actually go, and I've started, I've got 3 songs that I've started putting to music, 3 of your poems. One of them that you wrote when you were 9.
Oh, which one? Do you remember the title?
Let me see here in my notes. I think I've got it here. The Cycle of You.
Does
It
it
says
say
that you wrote it
sometimes?
when you were 9.
Sometimes I feel alone, but I'm not. That one?
It's a manifestation of pure expression emanating from a blend of light and sound.
I can't wait to hear it because I don't remember it.
Yeah, that was I guess you were 9 when you wrote that. And then there's another one, Your Joy. Toss your atoms into the ethers, catch them on the wind, scatter them beyond all reason, where time and space begin.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been working on that. And
Awesome.
Perspectives from Intuitive Healer Jen Ward. I don't know if that's the title, but your worst day may be a day in the park to someone else.
Oh, yeah. I can actually see, as you tell me which songs they are, I can actually catch them in the future listening to them.
Okay.
Because that's always, the willow tree will help you if you go sit by the willow tree. Because the willow tree feels like he owes me because he was dying in Rochester and now he's living with you guys, so he's really happy.
He's thriving.
Mm.
He's in a very wet part of the land and just absorbing all that water.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. So would you like me to play Integrity's Blueprint? That was kind of what all started this 3 years ago on
Please.
August 21st of 2021.
Please.
How's it sound? Can you hear the guitar okay?
Yeah.
Give more than you get. Reap less than you sow. Listen more than you speak. Realize more than you know. Calm much more than agitate. Question more than comply. Hold yourself to higher standards. Extinguish every lie. Dream bigger than attainable. Realize your own worth. Create thoughts of originality. Celebrate every birth. Lead when there needs leadership. follow when it seems best. Acknowledge greatness in us all. Ignore everything that's left. It's integrity's blueprint, drawn up just for you. Integrity's blueprint, genuine and true. Have a higher calling, know a greater truth. Have the wisdom of experience, flexibility of youth. Cheer the world to victory, if only in your mind. Make changes you envision, forgive those running blind. It's integrity's blueprint, drawn up just for you. Integrity's blueprint, genuine and true. Follow your inner compass, do everything you can to uplift the course of humanity by loving the hearts of man. It's integrity's blueprint, drawn up just for you. Integrity's blueprint, genuine and true. Genuine and true. Genuine and true.
Two things that come from that. That's amazing. For one thing, me and Marvin do. I would love to see you playing at the inauguration, because I think that like that whole theme is what's being put out there right now as far as the shift in consciousness. I'd love to see you perform that.
Thanks.
I think that's pretty profound what you just said. In fact, I think the choice of that song at this time, in at least American political history, is kind of really important, because infusing integrity and kindness and truth into the interaction of the human collective is just so important, and it's sadly missing. But we're turning the tide, and I think that was a great song choice, actually, at this moment.
Maybe we could send it to the campaign or whatever, and volunteer Bud to play it for, like, we own Bud.
Sure.
Kitty, have you done that yet?
No, but I could send it to Bernie Sanders. We're Vermonters, and be like,
Oh,
Bernie,
that's true.
we have a
Well,
great song.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on that.
All right, awesome. Thank you. We still love Bernie. Bernie the dog is doing great. Bernie Sanders the dog. He's still an ambassador of love. He plays with the foxes and the deer. Anyways, what's next, Bud?
Well, I have permission, and about giving yourself permission to take some time for yourself, take care of yourself. There's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, no one to please, this day is for you. There's nothing to conquer, nothing to lose. Life is your oyster, it's yours to peruse. Freedom is yours, no need your feet, give it a try. Whoa, 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 give yourself permission. Whoa, 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 give yourself permission. Dance when you're happy, smile and be glad. Give to yourself the time to be had. Spread love and joy across the land. Abundance and freedom, they go hand in hand. Freedom is yours, no need to ask why. Just put up your feet, give it a try. Whoa, 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 give yourself permission. 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 Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission.
But you're looking kind of sexy over there. You got this like little
Woo.
Patrick Swayze kind of thing going on. I'm happily married, and you're happily married. But wow,
Babies, you better calm yourself, otherwise Kitty's going to have to scratch your eyes out.
she will. Oh,
Well, the other song we have is Homage to the Foliage.
oh,
That,
my
that
favorite.
you told me, Jen, that this was written by the trees in their own voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think this is one of Kitty's favorites too.
Yeah.
Feel the million voices from all the world all around. Feel the little advocates and the blessings that are bound. Perceive their angst and plight to thrive. Know they're calling, I'm alive. Perceive them crying to be seen. I'm not human, but I am green. I am not human, but I am green. Sense them linger in your heart. We are not separate, we do our part. Acknowledge their gifts, show you care. We are your breath, we make your air. We make life pretty, we heal your stress. When you're with us, you worry less. We buffer sounds that are too harsh. We bring the stillness of the marsh. We help all people quietly refrain from collectively going insane. So thank your flowers, your grass, a tree. They make us all a better me. They make us all a better me.
Thank you.
Wow.
So beautiful.
I have a question for you, Bud. Do you ever reflect on the role that musos like you and others have in corralling and the collective, in a positive direction? Do you ever think about that at all, or do you just go about and connect with your passion and purpose?
I try to, yeah, I try to convey positivity all the time, especially performing. So many of the songs that I do that are other people's music convey love, and that's kind of the calling I think that music's always drawn me towards. And a lot of these poems that Jen wrote fit beautifully into that as well.
Are you finding a resurgence in, let's call it, folk style of music, the genre?
You know, I think there's a fellow from Vermont. He's a young guy. His name is Noah Kahn. He's an acoustic guitar player. I think he's probably only in his 20s, and he has exploded right now in the music world, and he's really more of a folky kind of a sound. And of course, a lot of the musicians that I follow, one being Tommy Emmanuel, who's originally from Australia, is an incredible acoustic guitar player. So as much as I enjoy the lyrics, I also really admire musicians who are just that next level that make you drop your jaw in amazement watching somebody play an instrument with the craft and the skill that they do. So music is always, gosh, you never reach a level. You can always aspire or be influenced by something new, create a new song. It's such a creative, rewarding process, and meditative too.
This past weekend, we were at Woodstock, and a young musician who was playing in another band came up to us. We hadn't seen him in years, and he said to Bud that Bud used to play late night at one festival with another musician. They were Bud and Bud. And the gentleman came up to Bud and he said, Bud, I just can't describe it, but your music was like water. And Jen was just saying that earlier, how but Bud can explain it more of what he was saying. Yeah.
He was trying to describe it, and he said that the flow and the rhythm and the way we worked together, it just felt like he was surrounded by a bubble of warm water anytime he heard us playing. I thought was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Accurate too.
Quick plug for your CD, kind Bud. What's it called again?
Jenuine is the one that has all of Jen's poems, and all 14 songs are Jen's poems that I put to music.
100%, and it is available it's available on CD, and it's also available on the streaming platforms. The one thing I would say as well is that one of the tracks, and it's either the last or the second last, but you bring in the didgeridoo, which is just such an earthly sound, and it really does do something quite magical with that particular track. Can you talk about the choice of bringing in the didge?
Well, his name is Pitts Quattrone. He is a didgeridoo maverick. He self-titles himself. He makes all of his own didgeridoos.
Wow.
He's done a lot of studying on the origins in Australia. And he makes didgeridoos in different keys. So he can make one in the key of E or the key of D. And I knew he played the didgeridoo, and I just thought this particular song, Sighting, which is, you're right, I think towards the end of the CD, was just really a good opportunity to just bring in something kind of out of left field and have a little surprise toward the end of the album. And it really, like you said, was magical. I think we did it in only 1 or 2 takes. I had recorded the song for him to listen to, And so he listened to it at home and worked out the part that he did. So he came here to my studio, we recorded it, and it's wonderful. I recommend you give it a listen.
100%. Fully recommend it for those that haven't got the CD. Get a copy if you're more, little less in the CD world. You can stream it. We actually do have the CDs of it. We got a couple of those, and we hand those out for free at various times when we're out in public. And but here's the interesting thing. We don't own a CD player in the house at all. The only CD player that we've got in existence in our orbit is in our car. And so that's where we listen to it. And we recently did a 1,000-mile one-way road trip. And then, of course, we had to come back again. So, venture a guess as to how many times we've managed to play the CD on recycle. So we were totally immersed in the music.
That's great.
Thank you, Bud. This has been amazing. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everyone else that has joined us on the Zoom call. We are doing these events consecutive, back to back, all the 4 days of the Democratic Convention. And we are going to be hitting various aspects of uplifting all of humanity up into higher consciousness, igniting universal empowerment, giving everyone an opportunity to live their best life of passion and purpose with perpetual joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success. And I'm glad to say that at least one of the campaign directions in the current presidential elections in America, because we're talking about America, has some of those aspects. So we're glad about that. But being non-political, that's just the beginning. So we're going to touch on a number of other themes on days 2, 3, and 4 of that convention. Stay tuned. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Bye for now.
Bye for now, everybody. Thank you.
If you like this content and you appreciate the work that we're doing to uplift all of humanity and to help heal your body, mind, and soul, please consider becoming a Jenuine Healing premium content subscriber. Simply jump onto the Jenuine Healing website, jenuinehealing.com with a J, and click on the purchase button on the top menu. Scroll down, there's a premium content option. Click on that, sign up. It's a simple monthly plan for $20 a month, and you will have access to all of the premium content that we put up on the Jenuine Healing website. We look forward to catching you next time, and bye for now.